Thank you for tuning in to the Mindful Babes podcast. I'm your host, Valerie Adams, mindset coach, entrepreneur, and manifestation enthusiast. I am obsessed with supporting you in living the life of your dreams. Each week, I'll be providing you with a quick bite of mind food so you can live the life that you were put on this planet to live. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Let's dive in. Hello, beautiful, and welcome back to the Mindful Babes podcast. This is officially the first episode of 2023 to drop, first of many. And I want to acknowledge and talk about, and maybe you noticed, maybe you didn't, maybe this is the first episode you've ever heard of the podcast and you're like, what is she talking about? I want to acknowledge the break I took from releasing new podcast episodes. And I actually think it's a really great lesson for us online business owners, anybody who has a business, anybody who is consistently putting out content or doing something semi-regularly in your business. And if you get to a point where it just doesn't feel like if it's starting to feel heavy, you're feeling resistance around it, there is a reason for that. And so what ended up happening was around December time, it was feeling energetically heavy to sit down and record new podcast episodes. And I love having a podcast. I love being able to talk with you. I love being able to share things that I don't share anywhere else. I love being able to use my voice and connect with you through my voice. I feel like there's such a beautiful energy exchange when you can hear someone's voice and their tone and their energy. And it's so much deeper than watching a video or a 60-second reel on Instagram or a TikTok. There's just so much more you get from these conversations. And the reason that this was starting to feel heavy for me, I uncovered, was because of the feeling I had. And nobody ever said anything to me. This was my own ego, my own self-judgments. It was because I want to make people happy. I want the people who have been listening to my podcast to be so excited for every single episode, and every single episode is applicable to them and gives them a huge breakthrough. Like, that is my hope and desire. And the reality is that over the last year, I've really shifted my focus, my passion in my business to start working with more entrepreneurs and really have more conversations, create more content, give you more value and pointers and tips and advice around growing an online business. Now, mindset, personal development, manifestation, those things are so important to me, and those will always be a part of my brand. And I will always have things to share with you around that. And what I came to realize was that what's alive for me right now is I want to share more things around entrepreneurship. I want to talk more about the journey. I want to really have a safe space, a space that entrepreneurs can come and listen to this episode and really hear things that maybe you're not hearing anywhere else. And so I've had my business for over 4 years, and I have a ton of wisdom, a ton of lessons, a ton of mistakes I've made, a ton of things I've done where I'm like, wow, I wish I would have known differently in my journey. And it would be a disservice to hold that back from you. And my hesitation was, well, there have been loyal listeners to the podcast for the last 3 years, and I appreciate them so much. And I'm afraid of disappointing people who have been listening for a long time. And they're maybe not entrepreneurs. They don't have a desire to start a business, and which is totally fine and amazing. And it's like, I don't want to disappoint people or them say, wow, it doesn't sound like this podcast is for me anymore. So that was something I had to move through on my own. And this is a lesson for all of us, especially if you have a business and you've ever pivoted, you have a new desire, a new type of client you want to work with, you have new things you want to talk about that are different from what people are used to from you. It can feel challenging because you don't want to disappoint people. Who does? Who wants to get into business and say, oh, I hope I let people down. I hope I disappoint people. I hope people, don't like what I have to say. Nobody does, right? We want people to receive transformations from our content, our programs, our podcasts, our coaching. And at the end of the day, not every single thing you have to talk about is going to be applicable to every single person. And so I gave myself that permission slip of, you know what, Valerie, your business has evolved, your mission, your passion has expanded, and you're focused and you love to work with entrepreneurs. So why would you not bring that forward on the podcast? Why would you not be making episodes for the podcast specifically for entrepreneurs? So you will be hearing, because it's the podcast, you will be hearing more episodes around entrepreneurship, business owner growth, CEO stuff, and of course, I'm still going to be jamming on mindset and manifestation and co-creating your reality, all the things I love talking about. And also there's going to be more episodes coming on entrepreneurship. So I just wanted to kind of clear the space, clear the air with you, and really share about something that was going on with me behind the scenes. And a lot of the time when we feel resistance, when we notice we're putting something off or procrastinating, there's usually a belief, there's usually a story, there's usually an internal dialogue happening that is getting in the way of you taking that action, you taking that step. And so it's important to look at and go, okay, what's going on behind this? Why is this feeling heavy? Why am I making this a big deal? Why does this feel like a mountain? What's going on here? And it's 99.9% of the time something internally that's happening. So I'm really excited to sit down with you and to talk today about why it is a really great time, like never been better time to build your online coaching business. Okay, so I remember when I started my business in late 2018, I at the time did not have any friends, anybody in my personal circle who had a coaching business. So it was very much like, it's not like, oh, I'm the first one. There wasn't anyone in my sphere of influence who, I could really model after and who was doing the same thing. So it was very scary for me. I didn't personally know anybody who had a coaching business at the time when I started. So my biggest fear, and I've shared this in other places, was being judged and getting on video and speaking on camera and what are people going to think? And it's like, of course people are going to judge because people judge what they don't understand. And normally what most people do, instead of being curious and going, what is this? They will look at something they don't know about or that's different and they'll label it as weird or what is she doing? And then they'll talk to other people about it and be like, what's going on here? So I had to really get over that. I had to get over knowing that I'm doing something different. I'm taking a hard left. I'm like the car, going a different direction than what I've ever done and what I knew anybody close to me had been doing. Being in corporate America, going to college, getting my degree, all that, I was very on the normal, acceptable path. And so when I woke up to my passion and my desire to help people and monetize and be a coach, it was like, I can't even explain what happened in my soul when I realized that that is what I wanted to do. And when I committed, when I said, I'm doing it, I'm launching this business, I'm going all in. That's a whole other episode, which I'll probably record on. I want to share the story of the first investment I ever made in my business and what happened after that, because it was quite a wild ride. So in today's episode, I'm going to tell you some reasons why now is a really freaking good time, like why the odds are in your favor, why the stars are aligning, why it makes sense, like why now is the best time to build your online coaching business. And this is going to land for you, whether you are thinking of starting a business, you're in the earlier stages, you've already had your business is up and going, you're year 5, 6, 7 in your business. Like this will reaffirm to you that you are in the right place at the right time. So my intention and my hope and my desire is that this episode brings you ease and you're able to exhale. So the first reason I'll share that it is a fantastic, freaking amazing time to be building your coaching business right now is because self-help, mental health, working on yourself, growth mindset, that is more popular than ever right now. More popular than ever. And I feel that the pandemic really normalized self-help, mental health, growing your mindset, working on yourself. Because when 2020 happened, which I don't need to like get into that, we all know what happened in 2020. You know what your life was like in 2020. There was a lot of time to go inward. And the pandemic really impacted people mentally, right? In a lot of ways, we were impacted by it. The mental piece was really huge. And so it really brought to light for a lot of people, myself included, where had I been busying myself with plans? Like, who am I when this is stripped away? What am I made of when conditions are this way? How do I stand in trust and faith and keep moving forward when the world is telling me that, oh, businesses are shutting down and people aren't spending money right now? Like, I had a choice to rise above, and I did. 2020 was it was like my first 6-figure year. It was my most successful year I had at that point. And it was all because of mindset and self-help. And so in 2020, we had so much time and space to really discover ourselves. And a lot of other stuff happened in 2020. And what it really brought to light was that mental health is so important, and working on yourself is not taboo. It's not, something that you should keep a secret. It's something that became very normalized. And I feel like therapy, but it has become very normalized. I feel like it used to be very taboo and secretive. Like, I remember when I saw a therapist in high school and also in my early 20s, I was almost embarrassed about it because it was like this thing. And maybe it was in movies, I don't know, but culturally, it seemed like just a few years ago, it was not normalized to go to a therapist, or is like only my friends knew. It's something I would never share online. I would never be like, oh, I had a therapy session today. And now it feels like, there's so many jokes about it. I'll see, on TikTok, like people making jokes like, oh, my therapist says this. And it's admirable to go to therapy. And it's something where I see more and more people share. I see more and more people proud that they're working on themselves. And this is even so true with self-help. So podcasts are really standard now. People know what podcasts are. People know that there are so many podcasts out there for growing your mindset, for living a more positive, intentional, mindful life. People share podcast episodes with each other. They're like, I feel like the book Atomic Habits is super popular and well known. And this to me is a very, 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 very good sign. The more that self-help is becoming more normalized and popular. And it's something where people are like, oh yeah, I want to work on myself. Okay, I'm going to listen to podcasts. I'm going to read books. Like, that is almost like the gateway drug for so many people are books and podcasts, where you're hearing different ideas and concepts and you're trying things on. And it's very natural that when you take that first step in your self-help personal growth journey with the books and podcasts and things on YouTube, and you're consuming a lot, it's natural that you're going to want to take that work deeper. You may have a desire to work with a coach, to take a specific course that's going to help you do something, to get customized feedback and support on your growth journey. I know that's how it worked for me. I went from consuming to wanting to do more experiential stuff and be mentored and put myself in programs and situations where I would be forced to grow. So that is reason number one why it is such a great time to build your online coaching business, where you are helping people get what they want, whether it's helping them get the body of their dreams, the relationship of their dreams, the financial reality of their dreams, the business of their dreams. Like, you are in the business of helping people dramatically shift something in their life so they can live the reality that they want, so they can get more out of life, more of the things they want out of life. So reason number one, self-help is way more popular, normalized than ever. Reason number two is that people are always looking for a leader. Now, this is not something we consciously do and say, where we wake up in the morning and go, oh, I want to find a new leader. I want someone to lead me. But what happens is, when times are uncertain, when things are unknown, when we don't know what's going to happen in the world, when we don't feel super confident about the future, how amazing does it feel to have somebody come forward and say, hey, there's nothing to worry about. If you want to win, if you want to get ahead, if you want to avoid this bad thing, if you want to make more money than ever, if you want to blah, 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 like come follow me. And it's not in a way of, I know better than you, I'm a leader, follow me. It's very much a like, you can have this too energy. And leaders are born in times of uncertainty, because while the world is scattered and people are in fear and they don't know which direction to move, to have that one person come forward and say, hey, I know this is how you're feeling, and here's what I know is possible for you. Here's what's available for you. Here's how I went from this to this reality. I know this is what you want. Come with me. Let me show you how. So people are always looking for a leader. People are always open and available for a leader, for someone who has it figured out to show them the way, right? And there's different levels to this. So there's a level of seeing someone really lead on social media and you love their content. You look forward to hearing what they have to say. There's also people who lead in the sense of you have a chance to work with them and get direct feedback from them. There's so many different levels to that. But knowing that people are literally praying for someone to lead them, for someone to offer a solution, for someone to speak into what's possible for them, and they are going to bed at night. Your ideal client goes to bed at night thinking about what? Their problems, wanting a solution, wanting a way out, wondering, is my reality ever going to change? Is this all that's ever going to be? Is this going to always be the same? Am I going to be in the same place this time next year? And to have somebody who they can look to and go, no, Valerie created this, therefore that means it's possible for me. You know, she created this, that means I can have it too. That is such a beautiful feeling. Has that ever happened to you? I'm sure it has, where there has been something that you've been stressing about. There's something you feel like you just can't figure out in your life. You feel like you're never going to get ahead. It's a problem you keep coming up against. And then you find a solution. You hear someone talking about what worked for them, even if it's a book or a course or a program or a podcast episode, and it's so clear that it's going to help you with that exact problem. How much of an exhale do you take knowing that there's someone who has figured it out that you can lean on and learn from? Like, that is such a beautiful feeling. So know that people are always looking for a leader. When times are uncertain, people want certainty, yes, and they want leadership. They want someone to look to. They're looking to see, okay, the person that I'm see as a leader, like, how are they handling it? Are they freaking out? What are they doing? So leaders are born in times of uncertainty, and that is absolutely the times we're living in now, right? There's a lot of uncertainty. So it's not that you have to figure out the world. It's that, what do you specialize in? What is your niche? What are you passionate about helping people with? How can you be that strong line of energy, that consistent line of energy to help lead people? This is so big. Reason number 3, why it is such a freaking great time to build your online coaching business, is that it has never been easier or more convenient to make money. Period. The fact that you can literally click buttons on your phone and you can have groceries at your doorstep within an hour. The fact that you can click like 2 buttons on your phone and you can get a book from Amazon delivered in 2 days. Like, it is so easy and convenient to make money online. People are so used to paying for things online, investing online. And the beautiful thing about this is that you are already in front of your ideal customer. You're already hanging out where they are. So if your ideal customer is on Instagram or TikTok, and that's where you are as well, like, and you're serving content for them, they're going to find you. The more that you're hanging out where they are and you're offering value and you're like, hey, I know, hey, you're hanging out over here. Like, here's what I got over here. That is so powerful. Like, it's never been easier. Think about before the internet. Imagine if you were to start your business now before the internet. How do you think you would be attracting customers? How do you think people would hear about you? Right? On social media, Instagram, essentially, it's like every day you're advertising for yourself. When you're creating content, when you're putting things out there, my podcast is advertising for me, right? It's like I'm putting my work out there, and you can do that every day, all day on social media. There's never a time where it's like, oh, on Sundays, social media is closed. It's like every single day you can be showing up and building something. So imagine if this was 1987 and you wanted to start a fitness coaching business, like how do you think that would go? Like it would probably take way longer to attract customers and get in front of them. And you'd have to physically try to find where they are. Whereas you know that most people, your ideal client is probably on their phone a lot. Everyone has a smartphone besides like my grandparents. They have the jitterbug phone, but pretty much everyone has a smartphone. They have access to internet, social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's so commonplace. Like people, everyone's heard of it. People aren't like, oh, what's Instagram? It's like, it's well known. And so it's never been easier, more convenient to make money. What I'll also say too, and this is going back to the self-help piece. So likely there's been people in your world who they, got into personal development, and maybe they've already purchased a training or a webinar or a masterclass from somebody who has a big audience. So let's say you want to work with people who are, let's say you're a mindset coach, you want to work with people who are into personal development. They've probably heard of Tony Robbins. They've probably heard of Gabby Bernstein. They've probably heard of Bob Proctor, for example. So those people who have really big followings and audiences, and they've been in the game for a while, they will offer opportunities online for people to pay them. So they'll have maybe a challenge that they sell for $27, or Tony Robbins has UPW online. Like people have exchanged online. They've bought things digitally. A lot of people have, right? So if you have an online business where you're selling courses and you're selling trainings and coaching, it's digital. It's not in person. It's not even really tangible. It's digital. It's something you digitally have. And people are used to this, which is really nice. So it's not that outrageous for you to come on the scene and have a course, and you sell a course to people in your audience and they're like, wait, it's not a physical course. You're not going to mail me something. There's not stuff to print out. It's like, it's digital. And a lot of people are used to that. And so you can really be excited for and thank the people who have gone before you and have those bigger audiences, like, again, like Tony Robbins, Gabby Bernstein, people who are very influential in the self-help space, and they've offered opportunities for people to do and grow. It's like the path is being paved for you. So not only can you literally, if you have a phone, you can build a business. If you have a phone, you have internet, you pay your phone bill, like you can have a thriving business. It's really all you need. I do so much work from my phone. I sell from my phone. I create content from my phone. Like there are some days where I don't even need my laptop because I can do so much on my phone. Like how cool is that? So it has never been easier or more convenient to make money than it is now. Reason number 4. So the people who get into self-help, they start transforming their life. They start transforming the way they think. They start really shifting and looking at, okay, what do I want my reality to look like? What am I available for? What am I ready to create in my life? They will create results in their life, right? They'll start to be happier, more positive. They'll be making healthier choices. And it's very natural to show people versus telling people. It's way easier to influence people in your life and inspire them to do what you're doing, for them to actually see you living out the work that you've done, right? So if you were to tell someone, hey, I want you to listen to this podcast, it's going to help you be a lot happier and make more money or something. Like if you were to share that with someone, they may say, okay, great. But what's going to make it even more enticing and have them be like, oh yeah, I want to listen to this, is if they were to notice in you, wow, something's different about her. She just seems lighter. She seems happier. Wow, she's, growing her business. She's making great money. Like, wow, when people can see what you've created, they see that difference in you. they're more likely to listen and feel inspired than if you're just telling them, hey, you need to do this, you should do this, right? Like, let people see your transformation. So how does this impact your business? Well, the people who are into self-development, your clients, your future clients who are already doing mindset work and they're already improving their life, what's going to happen is they are going to influence their circle. So if they start working with you, if they start learning from you, if they start vibing with your content, well, they're probably going to want to tell people about it, right? They're going to want to tell their friends about it. They're going to want to share your stuff with people. And what makes it really great is if they are receiving shifts and results from working with you, from looking at your content, from even just knowing you, right? Knowing of your work, or just personal development, personal growth in general, their friends are going to be more likely to listen. Their friends are going to be like, wait, I want to come with you, if they're growth minded and they want similar things. So the more opportunities that you give for people to grow, so let's say you do a challenge or you offer masterclasses, or offers in general, right? So any program you offer, any opportunity for someone to work with you, that is an opportunity for someone to change their life. And so the more opportunities that are available, the more you're sharing about those, the more you're inviting people in, the more people who are actually coming into those opportunities and having shifts, having transformations, they're not going to want to keep it to themselves. They're going to want to invite the people they love and care about on the journey with them, right? It's like, okay, I'm going to take you with me. And so knowing that people, the people you work with, the people who are clients, the people who love your stuff already, they can actually do some heavy lifting for you. They can actually be selling your stuff for you just by being so blown away by what they've experienced with you and wanting to tell the world about it, like wanting to run and tell everybody about it. Okay. And the final thing I will say, and there's so many more, by the way, I just wanted to give succinct reasons here. And I also didn't want this to be like a 90-minute podcast episode. I feel like maybe you probably didn't want that either. The final thing I'll say about why it is such a great time right here, right now, real time, 2023, to grow your business is this is something that's timeless, by the way, what I'm about to say to you. This is important to know. People pay for shortcuts. People want to pay for shortcuts. So when you can show somebody and demonstrate through who you're being, your story, the results you've created in your life, when you can show somebody, hey, I have a shortcut, AKA a solution for you, they're going to want it, right? So when you're showing someone like, hey, I figured out how to lose X amount of weight in this amount of time, or, hey, I figured out how to take my business from $0 to 6 figures in 9 months, or, hey, I figured out how to go from feeling anxious and depressed every day to, living my dream life. I figured out how to go from single and miserable to the relationship of my dreams. Like, those are things that people want. And so when you're able to turn around and go, hey, I cracked the code to something, I did it in this amount of time, or here's what I learned, here I can support you in getting there as well. Do you want this shortcut? And this is the thing about coaching and mentorship, is that it collapses time, meaning it could have taken me 5 years to figure out something in my business, like 5 years, lessons, ups and downs, losses, quote unquote failures. And I finally am like, okay, now I know how to do X. Now I know how to do this and have it be permanent. If I'm able to figure that out in 5 years, I can turn around and give you the shortcut. I can teach you everything I know in like 3 months, 6 months, a year, and you can create the same result that took me 5 years. You could do that in like 3 months. So that's the power of mentorship and taking programs and working with coaches and learning from people who have figured something out, people who know a thing. Like, you can get to where you want to go faster. And that is, to me, like mentorship, coaching, it is the ultimate cheat code. It can feel like, because you're like, wait, wow, this took you thousands of dollars. This took you like $100,000 to learn this. And here you are giving it to me inside of a masterclass, or here you are giving it to me inside of our coaching. Like this is why I stand by mentorship. I stand by coaching. I stand by learning from people who have results, who have a lifestyle, who have created the things you want. It's because they can help you get there way faster than they did. So it's like, what would open up for you? What would be available for you? If think of your biggest problem right now, the thing that literally keeps you up at night, you lose sleep over, you worry about it all the time. Imagine if that problem were to be eliminated or drastically better, like that, like completely transformed in the next 6 months. Like, can you imagine that for a second? Like, what would your life be like? So that is what is available when you work with a coach, and that's what's available for your future ideal clients, your future clients. Like, you can help them get to where they want to go so much faster. And this is why it is such a great time to really forwardly grow your business, build your business, go all in on your business, is because people want shortcuts. That's never going to go out of style. People, smart people, I will say people who are smart and who value their time, they are going to invest the big bucks. They're going to be like, wow, okay, I get to invest in myself so I can not have this be a problem in my life anymore. So I can get on the other side of this. So I can get more of what I want faster. And that is the beauty of having a coaching business, giving people these opportunities, and also being your own best testimonial, right? Because people are going to want to work with you when they can see that you've created what you say you can help people with, and that you're living it. It's not something, oh, I just figured it out once. It's like, no, I not only did I crack the code, but this is how I deepen it every day. And that is something that is so beautiful about social media, is that we can show people, we can give people a glimpse into how we're actually living out our transformation. Like, it's so beautiful. So those are the 5 things. Let me go over it one more time. So reason number 1, self-help, more popular than ever. Now is such a good time for people to go all in on self-help and self-improvement, because it is so commonplace and popular. Even like at the bookstore, I feel like the self-help section, the personal growth section, used to be this like tiny section that people were embarrassed to go to, or it was like super secretive. And now it's in the bookstore in my town, it's like literally right. It's like very near the front, and it's a big section. It's like personal growth, and the books are all out on the table, and there's so many things, and it's people are in the section. It's like self-help is more popular than ever. It's more widely accepted than ever, and people are more open to growth than they've ever been. Reason number 2, people are always looking for a leader. When times are uncertain, people want leadership. Reason number 3, it's never been easier or more convenient to make money. Trust me on that. Number 4, the more that people who get into self-help and experience growth and transformation in their life, the more that they're going to want to bring the people they love with them, tell people about solutions, tell people about you, tell people about what they've been doing. So you can actually have people, you influence one person, you help one person, they could go refer 10 people to you. Like, how amazing is that? Number 5, people pay for shortcuts. People are willing to learn how to collapse time and get to where they want to go way faster than they would if they were on their own. And that is what we're in the business of doing, helping people transform their life in a specific area. So I hope you loved this episode. I'm so excited to be bringing more entrepreneurial, more business-focused episodes. Again, this is me diversifying, so I will still be jamming on mindset, manifestation, love, like anything that I feel inspired to share with you. And just know that there's going to be more business owner focused episodes, more boss babe entrepreneurial focused episodes. And I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to bring that to you. And if you are really excited about growing your online business and you want more support, you want to learn more, you want to dive even more in, I have some really exciting things going on right now. So the first is my new free masterclass coming up. It's the Run and Tell Everybody Masterclass, where I'm going to be teaching you the keys to building a business that people love and won't stop talking about with their friends. So if you're someone who you want to have a big influence, you want to grow a business where you're not just impacting the people you see right in front of you, you're impacting so many more people, you're creating a huge ripple effect, and you want to really learn the keys to do this. The Run and Tell Everybody Masterclass is happening this month, February. If you are listening to this episode after the masterclass has taken place, the link is inside of the show notes, so you can sign up and get access to the replay. I don't plan on taking the replay away, so I want you to dive into that if you feel called. And what we also have coming up this month, February, is my program Red Hot Offers. So this is for you to master the art of creating irresistible offers that your soulmate clients love to buy. They love to keep buying from you. They have amazing experiences inside, and they want to do life with you and stay in your world. So this is going to be a really great program on how to build a smart product suite. So if you're someone who you want to serve a lot of people, you want to grow your business to, like, you would love to be at the 6-figure mark this year, next year, ASAP, of course, and you want to do it in a way where you're not like having 10,000 million calls on your calendar, having a million one-on-one clients. You really want to diversify. You want to have a one-to-many business model, meaning there's no cap on the amount of people you can work with. Then Red Hot Offers is for you. I'm so excited to kick off this month in February. The link is inside of the show notes as well. Would love for you to join, would love for you to have this experience inside of the live program. And I'm just so thrilled to be back with you. I can't wait to share more episodes with you, more advice and tidbits and all the things. And I will see you on the podcast next time. I love you so much. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Mindful Babes podcast. I hope you loved today's episode and got some takeaways from the message shared today. If anyone in your life would benefit from hearing this episode, please be generous and share it with them on your story. Tag me on Instagram at The Mindful Babe. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave a review on the iTunes store. Your reviews are what keeps this podcast going, and I appreciate you so very much. Have an incredible day, babe.